Retro Zone.
And welcome everybody to a special episode of the Animaniacs.
So hit it! Come, they told me, pa-ram-pa-bum-bum. Our newborn king to see, pa-ram-pa-bum-bum. Our finest gifts we bring, pa-ram-pa-bum-bum. To lay before the king, pa-ram-pa-bum-bum, ram-pa-bum-bum, ram-pa-bum-bum. So to honor him, pa-ram-pa-bum-bum. On my drum.
And welcome everybody once again to the Animaniacs. This, of course, is the podcast that is dedicated to the animated television series Animaniacs, as well as other shows within the Rueggerverse, such as Tiny Toon Adventures, Pinky and the Brain, and Freakazoid. But today, like I said before, we've got a special episode. I am Joey, and Nathan and Kelly, my co-hosts, are not here. They're enjoying the holidays, doing, I don't know, whatever you do, after the holidays. It's New Year's Day at the time this episode is being released, and, we have a special episode, like I've said a couple times now. It's a commentary of episode 49 of Animaniacs that, of course, features A Christmas Plots and Little Drummer Warners. And for this commentary, we not only have the creator of the show, Tom Ruegger, but we also have the director of Little Drummer Warners, Lenord Robinson. This episode was previously only available to our fine supporters over at Patreon, patreon.com/Animaniacast. And, I figured, it's, even though Christmas has come and gone, it technically is still the Christmas season, right? Until the Epiphany, which I think is January 6th or something like that. So, hey, better late than never. And what the heck, an extra, Christmas holiday gift, we'll take it, right? Yeah. Anyway, this was a really fun episode to record. We got to just sit back and enjoy watching the episode. Not only is it a hilarious episode, but of course you're going to get some great insight into the development of this show. So if you would like more commentaries such as this, head on over to patreon.com/Animaniacast. You can get lots of commentaries from not only Tom and Lenord, and also other writers such as Peter Hastings, Paul Rugg, and John P. McCann as well did a few. So a lot of fun, awaits you, and we appreciate your support. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to me before, along with Nathan, Kelly, Tom, and Lenord.
I think it'd be fun if Lenord, because Lenord not only directed this episode, but he storyboarded it, he slugged it. And I'm talking about Little Drummer Warners.
Yes.
He storyboarded, he slugged it, he directed it, he timed it. I mean, he really kind of lived this thing. And it is, without a doubt, it may be the most beautiful episode of the entire series. I think the entire half hour is one of the very best episodes of the entire series. And I think it would be great as we watch Little Drummer Warner, just, if you have the chance to just share some of the experience of how you made it, and that would be great, I think, for everyone.
Well, first of all, I'd just like to say thank you, Tom, because that's wonderful praise. Thank you so much. I mean, Tom made this possible, really, for me in a lot of ways, because everybody, we had great crews, as Tom knows, and all the directors were wonderful. But Tom made this very easy for me because he gave me some of the best people to work on this thing. I remember, I mean, I had, and the people that I had were fine, but I mean, he was giving me like the very best background painters, and I was just he just dumped all these great people to help me on this thing, and then I was into doing it, and I think he knew I would be. So I really owe a lot to Tom just in how he like ran interference, made it possible for me to have what I needed to do it.
Well, the only credit I get is really knowing that you were just absolutely the right guy for this one, and you sure were. It's so good. I mean, I think about how the three wise men bounce off the camels with the music. I mean, it's just fabulous.
It was fun. It was everything about this thing was fun. I mean, fun to board, fun to time it, it was a joy. I mean, it's the kind of thing where you wish you could do everything like that. It doesn't always work that way, but
That's right. We don't always have the time, and sometimes, on this one, if you needed a little more time on it, as far as I was concerned, that makes sense. So I was all for you, sort of giving it the care that it deserved.
Yeah, we followed through. I mean, it turned out beautiful. I couldn't have been happier with it. So, yeah, I was glad you were happy with it, Tom. That was amazing.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, let me just share a little story. Lenord probably remembers this. That I wanted to make the cartoon a great deal, and I really didn't want anyone to say. I didn't want to give anyone the opportunity to say, "Hey, maybe you shouldn't make that cartoon," because it does have sort of a, it has a sort of the story of the birth of Jesus. And, aside from the Charlie Brown Peanut special, that's just not something that shows up a lot in the Christmas specials. I mean, most of it's like Frosty the Snowman stuff. So when Lenord started in on it and it was underway, the fellow from Amblin, Doug Wood, said, "Hey, before you get going on this, we should fill in Stephen on it." And Stephen at this point was in Poland making Schindler's List. So I said, "Oh yeah, I'll handle that." I said to Doug Wood, "Yeah, I'll talk to Stephen about it." And whether it slipped my mind or whether I didn't want to bother, I didn't want to worry about it. Anyway. Stephen heard about this cartoon existing the day that he saw it in the conference room at our studio, where it was fully scored and complete. It was done. And he watched it and he loved it. And he said, "Okay, when are we doing the Hanukkah story?" Anyway, it really was just one of the rare cartoons where Lenord and his crew, nobody bugged them. They got to do it, and the recording sessions were great too. So
awesome. Everything about it.
Well, Lenord, it is great having you on. I mean, you've of course not only worked on Animaniacs, but of course Tasmania. Of course, we're on Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries. Even worked again with Tom on an episode of Hysteria, and then of course on Proud Family as well. How exactly did you get involved with Animaniacs to begin with?
Oh gosh, actually, I think it was. Well, I was on Tasmania, and I don't know if it was Art Vitello that mentioned me to Tom, or I don't remember. I mean, I had met Tom before, and I can't remember if it was Tom that actually asked me to be on it. I don't remember, to be honest. It was such a long time ago. It seems like I guess I had done okay. It was like Tasmania was my directing debut. That was the first time I'd ever directed. And I guess I got some good notes from somebody, and I guess it got to Tom. And it seems like I recall that Tom might have asked me. I don't remember. Tom, do you remember that? Because I don't.
Yeah, as I recall, we were in some, there were extracurricular activities that we do. And I met you there, and I knew you were doing Tasmania. And I think as Tasmania wrapped, different productions had an eye out for Lenord. They wanted to grab him the minute he was free, and I sort of swept in and made sure Animaniacs got him. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. That sounds right. Because I remember one of the first episodes of Tasmania that I did was a show called Airborne Airheads. And I remember G. McCurdy making a really nice comment about it. And I think Tim Sarnoff even made a very nice, which was, I considered, wow, So so the next person I saw was Tom. I was like, oh, okay. So I figured, all right, I guess I must have done something all right. But
yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, so Lenord was stuck at Warner Brothers for a few years there. Yeah.
Well,
of my career, some of the best years of my career, no question.
Yes.
I loved it. And let's make sure Lenord is seeing what you're seeing, Joey.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing it.
You saw that? Okay,
Right.
good. That's very important. Just, do you see what I see? Okay.
I certainly do. Yes, I do.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you so much, patrons, for tuning in once again. We are here, and we are going to be, I would say, probably doing the Christmas specials of all Christmas specials right here. This is The Christmas Plots, which was directed by Rusty Mills and written by Randy Rogel and Paul Rugg. And, of course, like we were talking about, Little Drummer Warners, directed by Lenord Robinson, who's joining us today, and of course was written by Earl Kress and Tom Ruegger. So I love the CBS opening right there.
Yes, that's like the old CBS stuff.
With a snow. See, this isn't a normal newsreel of the stars. We got a blizzard.
It's Christmas themed.
Yes.
Now, I love the snow in the opening.
Three new characters, the Warner Brothers and their sister Dot.
Hello, nurse.
Unfortunately, the Warner kids were totally out of control.
Boingy, 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 boingy.
The trio ran amok throughout the studio until their capture. The Warner's films, which made absolutely no sense, were locked away in the studio vault, never to be released. As for the Warners themselves, they were locked away in the studio water tower, also never to be released. Publicly, the studio has disavowed any knowledge of the Warners' existence to this very day, when the Warners escaped.
It's weird that it's snowing inside on all the...
Go inside termite. That's how bad Termite Terrace was. Is that there were holes in the roof. I think it's a nice way right here with the jingle bells, though, of making it a little bit more festive. I mean, there's no
But,
confusing.
They should probably go with the beat, but they don't quite go with the beat.
Dun, 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 dun. Well, see, the jingle bells stop right there, though.
Oh, well, they probably went out of sync.
Yeah. They're kind of tuning them down and then turning them back up, I think.
Yeah, I do like that the snow is just falling everywhere, no matter what the set is. Yeah.
All right.
Now, Lenord, when we're watching this one, which of course Rusty directed, can you tell me about Rusty a little bit?
Rusty, a tremendous talent, wonderful guy, can animate beautifully. Gosh, I've known Rusty for a long time, actually, before he worked there. And I knew he would be a great director. He's just one of those guys that have a lot of creativity, just real heart for characters, and just also a real sense of humor, which you need, I think, to be a good director. But yeah,
Absolutely.
Gosh, I can't say enough good things about Rusty. I miss him very much. He's one of the first people actually to really kind of bring us into the computer age. Actually, I think.
Yes.
Just wants to do it. But yeah, just a tremendous talent.
Sit down. What I have to say won't take long. before you give me my Christmas bonus, I had some prepared Christmas words that I had prepared.
Now the
This-
book, the
Yeah.
Christmas.
I was going to say this is such a good story. This is such a great cartoon with such great music, and then it got interpreted into a horrible read-along book.
Oh,
Later
yes,
on.
it did.
Yeah,
which
It's-
we
we reviewed, and yeah, I think we all gave it 1 star. But you know, like
What-
the
what
worst
did they-
rating anything.
What did they do to the book that was different? Did they use the tracks?
no.
Oh,
It was no music by Randy. It was the story. The story was there. They gave, I think,
Oh, that's good
credit
animation.
to Paul and Randy for the story. But Cool Mo D changed up the music and did some new tracks on it and everything.
Oh, really? There are songs in it, but they're not the
Yes.
same ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
And
send
then-
you the link. It's on YouTube, Tom.
And
I
is
don't know
it
if you'll be able to
performed-
survive
Are the
it.
songs performed by our cast?
Yes.
Wow.
So even Sherry does a rap of sorts. It's something else.
I
will
love this
say-
line coming up here from Sherry here, because she doesn't really commit to the role. She lost the other page, and she's mad that she's being paid scale.
I gotta get a new agent.
I'm working too hard. I must have been hallucinating. Hello?
Hiya, Plotzy.
Gosh! What do you want?
I want you.
I think Rusty and the crew made some great decisions on how they painted the Warners. These sort of like blue pastel-y colors to represent ghosty versions of them. Very, very pretty.
Yeah, and I mean, just the Warners, I think themselves lend themselves to being ghosts very easily with being able to stretch and bend and everything. But
Such a good
That looks like the mother from the Elmira show.
slightly, yeah.
Tiny Toons Elmira mom.
Ha! You slapped me. You'll
That's
be
scary.
lawyers.
That is super scary.
You
I think they made a whole movie with Alex Baldwin with that kind of.
Yeah,
guy.
exactly. That was the original.
Yeah.
Rusty could definitely take liberties. I know that.
Yeah.
He was real brave about that. And you could tell he was having a good time with it,
Plans are
too.
as follows. Go.
One red wagon, black wheels.
Deluxe train set with Western Town.
40 speed by Golden Spokes.
White horse with a brown tail.
Not a pony, a horse. Got it? I got a pony. That charlatan. Enough of this already. I'm a busy man. Now get out of here.
Just one more clip. This was the worst.
How could you do this to me? You're too old to run this company. I'm taking over. Now be out of here by noon. You can't do this.
And another thing is that Rusty would encourage the animation to be fuller, too. I noticed, like, on a lot of his cartoons, there was a lot more bombastic movement of the characters. And it's like, I kind of took a lead from that myself, actually, because to some degree, you kind of think you might need to not be so crazy. But the beauty of this show was that you were just free to just do stuff, do really, really extreme stuff. And that made it easy, and it made it a lot of fun, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, the posing on your cartoon, the little drummer Warners coming up, and the posing in this thing on the Warners, just brilliant, and
Yeah.
a lot of drawings. Clearly, the storyboards must have been just packed with detail.
Oh, yeah. Rusty put a lot. There was a lot in his boards. I mean, a lot of his cartoons, you could pretty much look at the boards, and it was all in there. He didn't leave out a whole lot of stuff. But we were always being sneaky, though. I don't know if you knew this, Tom, but because back then we had a layout department, if you remember.
Yes.
Rusty and I were really bad about this. We would tell the layout guys, "Well, animate the scene," and then animate the scene right, and then we would put it on the X sheets, and then we send it overseas, and we say, "Can you just clean this up and do some in betweens?" And and they would do it. You know. So,
Wow, that is so great. So the layout department, wow, that's beautiful. Well, that's how you got such great results.
yeah, we were very sneaky about that.
Now I know on this cartoon, I think Norm McCabe and Tom Ray and Donna Mulio, they helped on the sheet timing of this one.
Yeah, they did.
Rusty and Lenord slugged these particular episodes though, and
see, that's a nice thing too. Like Rusty's an animator too. He's an animator like Luke, though. So he knew just what he needed to do. You know, he knew how he needed to time it. So that gave us a tremendous advantage. You know, when you're an animator, you kind of already know what you want to see, so you can just put it in there.
Hello, I'll be your ghost of Christmas future this
the
evening.
Bee Gees are beautiful in these two episodes. I think John Dimer and Hugh Pettibone did a lot of the backgrounds for both of these cartoons.
Yeah.
So.
Forget about your cares. This is a man who knows what he wants. He's also a man nobody wants. Come on, it's time for you to
Yeah, there's a joke in this bit that I think is one of the maybe the dirtiest jokes we've ever had. I'm surprised it's in the Christmas show. But it's not really. It's a double entendre, but it's about the stamp collection. He says, you don't have a stamp collection? Well, then just open my mail. Which I think could be taken as a double entendre for, I don't know. Anyway, open my mail.
We were always getting away with stuff. You always kind of hope that nobody would pay attention to little things like that, but yeah.
Yeah.
It was always happening.
That's a Bob Hope growl there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love this whole staircase thing with the chorus line. It's really a spectacular musical number.
Yeah.
Very Busby.
Yeah, and the animation, just all of it. Just
This looks like my office.
Not anymore.
It's a Groucho, Bob Hope, Citizen Kane mixed in a blender.
And then this reminds me of Jeffrey Katzenberg, this model.
That's right.
Who is actually, I think, this is Ralph's son who has grown up.
He vowed to get even with you one day, remember? Now he
Yes, he
runs
did.
the studio.
But what about me? Where am I?
Over here.
I was hoping that the reboot would have Ralph's son as the
Yeah, it should have been.
like if they didn't have plots.
And it should have had plots as the guard gate.
Yeah.
Forest Woodlawn?
Oh.
No, not there.
There.
No, it can't be.
Oh, but it is.
I mean, Plots looks pretty good, though, despite being incredibly old, apparently, by now.
Yeah.
He must be very old.
This is my future?
Yeah, it's so cool to see this again. It's been a while.
Under control.
But they're so fast.
Then you're finished. You failed. You're fired. Merry Christmas.
Ralph Paulson does so many great different voices. He's really amazing.
It's an interesting twist on the Christmas Carol, because of course in the original one it's like, Scrooge, you will die. Oh no!
It really
But this
works.
is showing like, no, you have karma. It'll come around to you. If you're mean, then so your people will be, it'll be you one day.
What day is today?
And it really, it works with Ralph playing the Bob Cratchit role. And
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go and buy the biggest fruit cake.
And also, I think the story really works for our time, Lenord, for when you think about the studios, they make all this money, and yet the artists are living in places like this because the studio execs really made it all, and our very talented group of artists in our union, we're trying to get as much as we can, but we don't get, for instance, like writers in live action get residuals, not here in animation. Directors in live action, Directors Guild, they get royalties. The directors of animation don't get those royalties. So, not that I'm trying to create a big controversy here, but this little representation of Scrooge and Marl and Cratchit is similar to what's happening in animation.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, I think most of us who are creatives, and Tom knows this, we love the opportunity to do these types of things. So whenever the opportunity comes, we just jump on it, and all we can do is hope that those in charge will appreciate the effort put in and see it. And maybe they'll be nice enough to let us do it again or whatever,
Yeah, and maybe share in the largesse. But you're right. All of us, when we were making Animaniacs, we were just so thrilled to have the creative freedom to make cartoons we like.
Yeah.
But here's your opus.
All right.
Go for it, Lenord. You don't let me interrupt.
Oh, it's just so much fun doing this. And we had Ann Gunther, I believe. Yeah, we had Ann Gunther working on this a little bit. She did some backgrounds on this. But yeah, I got to jump in here and board it, and I had a lot of fun doing that. I pretty much knew what I wanted to do. It was like I knew this was going to be done to music, so primarily done to music. So I was really excited about doing it. But I wanted to create the feel of it being a very fully done animated short. But I didn't want it to get so serious that it wasn't fun anymore, So I was really happy that we had the characters in this that we had, but just a joy all around, I was looking for something that had a little bit more production value to it, so that's why we got the special effects and all that in here. I pretty much tried to time out the entire cartoon. I didn't try to. I did it. and actually, I remember when I did the storyboard on this, I did so many drawings on it that when the overseas guy said, "Well, gosh, you animated this for us," I was like, really? It's like, well, I just want to make sure you knew what I wanted. I think that's the thing that, like, when you see something and you put that kind of work into it, when you actually see it on the screen, it's just so nice. And our overseas studios are great. We have some really good studios, and they do beautiful work. And Tom saw to it that I got the best studio.
Yeah, I was going to say, you were teamed up with a great one.
They didn't drop the ball, which is wonderful, too.
They really did it nicely. I mean, because a scene like this, for instance, is a very simple scene, but, I wanted it to feel natural, and they carried that off well, It's not necessarily that easy. You think of scenes like this being very simple, but they're actually kind of technically difficult. Hands and what have you. But
yeah, you had Wacko stop there for a second and then have to catch up. It is natural.
Yeah, I just wanted to give it, I wanted the people to think like, oh, were we watching a Disney cartoon here?
Yeah, that's right.
But then I wanted to kind of break into what we do at Warner Brothers, which is the fun stuff. I wanted to kind of make that a juxtaposition, have it natural, but then, go into fun stuff.
See, I think they should get this cartoon out in theaters. They really should. It's a beautiful 6.5 minutes. It's like perfect.
I really put a lot into it, and of course Annie did a gorgeous job on the backgrounds. I think I don't know if she did them all. I think she did a lot of the key ones.
I love this scene.
Oh gosh, when I was doing this, this is where I knew I was like, I gotta loosen up here. This is gotta be fun. So
the poses are brilliant on them.
It's just a blast.
It is a good balance of silliness and seriousness at the same time in this cartoon. It's really nice.
Well, it's a Warner Brothers cartoon. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be mistaken for a Disney cartoon, but I wanted to have it kind of be a blend of those two styles,
Yeah.
We got Rob, Jess Harnell, and Jim Cummings coming up.
Yeah, great stuff they did.
Our finest gifts we bring, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum. To lay before the king, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum, rum-pum-pum-pum, rum-pum-pum-pum. So to honor him, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum, when we come.
So beautiful.
I had Bob Sledge. You remember Robert Sledge, right, Tom?
Yeah.
Bob Sledge. Yeah, Bob to help me out too on some of the boards because I had.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. He did some of the boards too, and we kind of collaborated on that. But I did like most of it. But yeah, he did some real nice stuff, and he helped me on some of the design too. I had the basic design worked out, and he did some nice cleanup and touch up on it. Yeah, we had some good stuff.
You had great people. Great people.
Yeah, they carried through really nicely. I was going for all the shading and everything. I wanted shadows on everything.
Mary is perfect.
So I kind of picked up the pace a little bit. And got the animals dancing. Got the gangs going.
The chorus of singers who sang like Little Town of Bethlehem were Carol Lombard, Kimberly Fligston, Rianne Lepone, and Sarah Ford, and they recorded their tracks 4 times. So that's why it sounds like so many different voices. And they were little kids. They were little kids doing the voices. But this is the tour de force right here, Lenord. This
stuff.
This swing era. Now, did you just naturally go swing era?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I asked them to kind of go wild with it because I had a few poses in here. I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to do it, and I timed it out and I figured out the X sheets, and they did exactly what I asked them to do. It was great. I mean, I love the poses though. They worked out that pretty good because I wasn't sure if I got it right until I saw, like roughs on it. It looked great, so I said, okay, that should work.
Well, it actually sends chills up my spine, this episode. It really does, or down my spine. Yeah.
I'm glad you liked it. It was a blast to work on.
Awesome, Lenord.
Yeah,
that's the kind
beautiful.
Of thing, you just wish you could get to do that, more stuff like that. I'd say in my entire career, I've only done a few things like that, so I've been very fortunate. Warner Brothers gave me I think maybe the best opportunity to do some really pretty cool stuff. So,
well, I hope you get more opportunities because you deserve them, and you're great. You're awesome.
Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you, Lenord, so much for coming on. We're really just a Merry Christmas. What a great way to
Lenord, did I? Because I might have talked over some spot that you wanted to talk about. So, were there things that you want to mention about that episode that you haven't yet?
No, I think that pretty much covers it. I mean, a lot of the things you said were too. I mean, very helpful. Some stuff I didn't remember exactly, but most of it I did. But I was just really thankful that I had some extra people to help on it. When you let me use it.
Yeah, because now that I recall, I think I said, Lenord, you're alone. I think I did. I think I said, Lenord, you just do this and nobody's going to bother you, but no one's going to help you.
But you know what it was? It was a vote of confidence because it's like when you came to me with it, I said, wow, you trust me with this? And I was just touched. I thought, well, I'm going to give him my attitude. I'm going to give him the best cartoon that I can possibly give him because if he trusts me to that degree, then I'm going to deliver as best I can. And so I'm very thankful, and you did help me out with some of the other people because like Ann Gunther, I mean, when you told me I could have her do a few Bee Gees, I was like, what? Ann Gunther, my goodness. So, because I mean, Annie was always working on all of the classy stuff, Yeah. So for us to get her even involved, even a little bit, was like, yes, So, it worked out great. Man, I had no complaints. I mean, if I could do a few more productions like that, hey, Die happy.
I hope that happens. And I can't thank you enough for making that beautiful, beautiful cartoon.
Thank you for giving me a chance to do it.
This podcast is not endorsed by Warner Brothers or Amblin Entertainment and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Animaniacs, Tiny Toon Adventures, Freakazoid, the Warner Brothers logo, all names, pictures, and sounds are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of the Animaniacs unless otherwise indicated.